Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg, Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. We're doing a special edition of the Drew Schlosberg Spotlight in the Community Show. We are live at the Cal State University of San Marcos 2025 Social Mobility Symposium. Our Spotlight show is the nation's longest-running community podcast. We're now in our 19th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, doing great things for San Diegans for more than 6 decades. Honored to have in the studio with us today Charles Welch. He's the president of the American Association of State Colleges and Universities. How you doing, Charles?
I'm well, thank you.
Charles or Chuck or something in between?
You know, Chuck, but I get called a lot worse. So
trust me, I have too.
Exactly.
With your colleague, Matt Ceppi, he's the vice president of strategic development for AASCU. How you doing there, Matt?
I'm well, thank you.
How long you been with the organization, Matt?
I've been with the organization. I'm in my 4th year.
Okay, very good. And how about you, Chuck?
One. Just finished my first year.
Well, congratulations. Where were you before?
I was the president of the Arkansas State University system for the last 13 years.
Is that right?
So,
okay.
But I've been engaged with AASCU since 2008, so wasn't a stranger to the organization.
Understand. I spent a year at Ole Miss doing some graduate work in journalism. Gotta love the South.
Yes.
Absolutely. Talk about the mission of the organization.
So we represent the regional public university sector, which is 520 campuses in 49 states. Wyoming is the only state that doesn't have an RPU. We're about 86% of the public 4-year universities. We like to say that we are the social and economic engines of higher education. This morning at the symposium, they released or talked about a list of the top 20 campuses on the Student Mobility Index. All 20 of those are regional public universities.
Nice.
And we are about half of our students are students of color. We have a large number of students who are first generation. We have a large number of students who are low income, rural. And so social mobility really is at the heart of what we do. And we represent our campuses in Washington on federal advocacy and talking about the importance of higher education and what our specific sector does. But then we also support our campuses through funding that we're able to secure from private funders to help them to try new and innovative initiatives to advance their students and their institutions, and really a whole host of different student success programs that we can do. When people talk about the things that they don't like about higher education, that doesn't fit with our sector. We're lower cost, we're lower debt. And really, we are the ones that move the needle, not only for the individual students, but indeed for the communities in which they reside.
Right. So, Matt, obviously, with social mobility, probably not a term that was used in 1820. I know, maybe it was. It just wasn't called social mobility. When you find out, when you scrub these things, they were probably on the caves of Lascaux, 3000 BC. We just didn't call it social mobility. What do you like most about being in this field?
Sure. Well, I have been in higher education for 27 years. I was in the California State University system for 19.
Nice.
And so being able to really see the transformation that happens of the individual and of the community. And you think about that here in San Diego with the biotech industry, the defense industry, all of those are powered by higher education. And San Diego State, which is an AASCU member, just became an R1. We're very proud of that.
I saw that.
And the work that they're doing, the work that's happening here at Cal State San Marcos. So being able to see the transformation of the region, but also of the individuals that are able to be socially mobile and go out and be productive in the workforce and in society.
Right. So I'll ask you this question, Matt, and then Chuck, you add to it. So how closely does AASCU work with the K-12 system?
Very closely, because our institutions are educating the teachers, and so we have a number of programs that are involved in in teacher education. We also, a number of our institutions, and Cal State San Marcos is a good example, have MOUs with the K-12 system that make sure those students have a guaranteed spot. And you'll find that mostly at regional public universities that have created those types of relationships to make sure that those students who are coming through the K-12 system, if they meet certain benchmarks, they're going to have a spot for them here.
Yeah, I was just sharing with my former colleague, actually a colleague now, Jerry McCormick. I can say he's a current colleague. We worked together at San Diego Union Tribune a while ago. And I was honored to be the chair of the Sweetwater Education Foundation, where this concept started. It's called the Compact for Success.
Yeah.
And then President Steve Weber, you know this also well, Matt, worked with Ed Brand, my colleague. Ed was superintendent at Sweetwater. And just like you said, if they've hit these, qualifications, they raise the bar, and with the academics, they'd be accepted to San Diego State. Our job was to make sure they had money to go to state. So they just did all the hard work to get accepted. I think that's great. Chuck, there are many of those relationships going on. We just talked about San Diego State and Sweetwater. Cal State San Marcos has one, certainly with probably San Marcos Unified School District.
Absolutely. As Matt referenced, most of our campuses started as normal schools.
Right.
So they were created for teacher education. So we have a long history of understanding, working with, partnering, and furthering collaboration with our K-12 school districts. The other thing I think is unique about our regional public universities is we are of the community, from the community, and serve the community. 70% of our students come from a 50-mile radius. So these students are coming from the local school districts. We know the teachers, we know the counselors, we know the students, we know their families. And so we know that it's very important that we have that service, we have that collaboration. And the stronger the K-12 school district is, the stronger the students are, the stronger our institution.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you, but something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
Talking to Chuck Welch, who's the president of the American Association of State Colleges and Universities, joined by his colleague Matt Ceppi, vice president of strategic development. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition, a special edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 19th year, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. We are live at Cal State University of San Marcos at their 2025 Social Mobility Symposium. And if you're thinking that, isn't that the number one school in the country with social mobility, or the university? I said, yes, it is. Talk about how proud that makes you in this aspect of it.
That makes me incredibly proud. When Dr. Dufelt called me and asked if I would come out and speak at this conference, I said, absolutely. Number one, because I believe so strongly in social mobility. It's personal to me. I was a first-generation college student as well. But also because of San Marcos. And she was described as a trailblazer this morning. And I think she and the institution both, and they really are testament to not only raising up the individuals that we educate, but through that, raising up the community. And when you look at what's happened around here, you go across the street and all the development that's happening because of this university, I think we must talk about it, we must tell our story, and we must highlight that to other parts of the country who can hopefully try to replicate it.
Well, and I think, and you would certainly agree to this, Matt. I know you would, Chuck, and you talked about community, okay? It's so important, whether it's the community schools that have been getting a boost a little bit from California, the budget and all that, whether it's now the universities, but it is the whole community. I know there's a very dynamic mayor in San Marcos that works very, very closely with the university. We actually do a show with her called CEO at Cloudcast Media. But talk about something that was near and dear to our heart, Cloudcast Media, and you brought up, and that's the military. And I know Cal State University of San Marcos is laser beamed in it. Our region is the largest population of military personnel in the country, with our Marines and Navy and Coast Guard. Matt, how important is that?
Extremely important, and that's why you see a veteran center here on the campus. And Cal State San Marcos has more veterans and veteran dependents per capita than any other CSU system. Part of that is because of where we are.
Sure.
But it's also important because they have developed programming around that. And you can look out across the country and see that again, it's the regional public universities that are meeting those individuals where they are, whether still in active duty or out as a veteran, and making sure that they and their families are provided with these opportunities for higher education. So,
yeah, we can't do enough for them in this region. We know it. The annual San Diego Military Advisory Council economic report comes out every year. $27 billion, if I got the number right, in direct spending, and about $55 billion in indirect. I'm sure you've seen that report. Talk about, Chuck, how is this? We certainly know how this ties certainly to folks here in Southern California and California. How about in other parts of the country, the connection with the military and their communities?
Oh, absolutely. One of the things about our institution is we have students from all walks of life as well, including a number of adult students. And so we're always a natural fit. And we could give you countless examples of institutions who are partnering with military veterans, if they have local bases, certainly getting, even including programming on the bases. But one of the things we take great pride in is what we call being stewards of place. And that includes really serving the communities, those that reside there, and who are the biggest economic development drivers. And certainly in coastal areas like California, as well as many other places across the country, the military do that. And we take great pride in that. And I think it's been effective nationally.
Without question. I'll start with you on this, Chuck, and then we'll tee it over to Matt. Our listeners, we've been doing this for 19 years, so only because I'm 105 years old, so that's good. I started a little bit late in life. But our listeners are pretty benevolent, and they like to get involved. What can our listeners do to support your organization?
Well, I think we have to speak out about the importance of higher education. It's under assault right now, people questioning the value or questioning the return on investment. But when you look at literally any category, unemployment, incarceration rates, quality of life, longevity, reliance on public support systems, a college degree improves all of those, not to mention income, which is significantly enhanced. And, we have to talk about the impact that a Cal State San Marcos, for example, is having on families, that it's having on the community, that it's having on economic development. We have to push back against those that want to suggest that we're out of touch and not doing the work. Because when you look at the communities where institutions are closely connected and graduating students and moving the needle on social mobility and economic mobility, they're literally transforming lives and communities. And we've got to make that a central point in our discussions and find ways to incentivize that and support it across the board.
Absolutely, Matt.
You look at the impact that regional public universities are having, again, on the individual lives, but on the community. And that's what we have to remember, and that's the message we have to take to our legislators, to our public, that this is having an impact on individual lives.
Without question. So, Chuck, people want to get engaged with you. They want to lobby for you. They want to support you. They want to do everything for you. Go polka dancing with you, or whatever the case may be. What's the website? Sure.
The website is www.aascu.org. Pretty simple, and we would love to get as much engagement as possible. We have a component of our website called Telling Our Story, where we love to tell the story of our students and our institutions. And so if you have a story of a way that an institution has changed your life or your family's life or your community's life, please reach out. We'd love to tell that story because it takes one student at a time, one community at a time to really change the narrative.
Well, we're going to have you come back on our longer Spotlight on the Community show. We could probably have you on every day for 5 years and never hit 1/10 of what you do. We understand that. But you can't talk about education enough. You can't talk about a community enough. And that's exactly what you folks are doing. Charles Welch, President of the American Association of State Colleges and Universities, and Matt Ceppi, VP of Strategic Development. Thank you so much for sharing this information to us. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to a special edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, doing great things in San Diego County. We have been live at the Cal State University San Marcos 2025 Social Mobility Symposium. We hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.